Hello everyone. This video is part of a psychology-related personal project that I'm working on. The intent of this project is to help me understand the concept of accountability and to hopefully then learn how to put it into practice. The concept of accountability can get really complicated when it comes to relationship dynamics. So my therapist and I have been working together over the past few months to unpack the idea to better understand it. I realize that making a video like this is an unusual thing to do. I'm doing it this way because I have a lot of experience in animation and design, and whenever I utilize those mediums, it helps me a lot to explain these kinds of really complicated ideas more thoroughly and easily. In this video, we're going to listen to an edited audio clip that I've prepared. The audio clip is a recording from a therapy session that I had on October 16. That was the first therapy session that I had after the wedding trip to Disney. We're going to listen to my story, and then we're going to highlight anything I say that's relevant to accountability, and then anything left over we'll address at the end. I separated the process of accountability into 4 primary categories. Acknowledge specific contributing actions, identify and address the harm or impact on others, commit to altering behavior to prevent reoccurrence, commit to self-reflection and introspection. Every time an accountability category is mentioned, an animation will pop up highlighting it. All right, let's go to the clip.
So yeah, I guess there's a million things to talk about. This trip was very complicated. I had a wide variety of encounters and emotional instances, and there were lots going on. I started using the term anxiety attack to describe when I lose control of myself. Ever since my anxiety started reducing generally, I've been more willing to put myself in situations I previously would have been much more afraid of. The wedding is one of those scenarios where because I've been feeling better, I'm starting to put myself in these situations, but then as a side effect of that, I'm also putting myself in more situations where I'm going to have a higher potential of having like an anxiety attack. So I'm challenging myself now, right? And that's what this wedding was. And that was basically what the whole experience was like the whole time, was me putting myself in a situation that I normally wouldn't like. And then I would either freak out or not freak out. Anyways, here's my best at breaking it down. As soon as the moment I left the house to the moment that I got back, I had, I think, 7 anxiety attacks. 4 of them were directed at my mom, 2 anxiety attacks towards strangers, and then I had 1 anxiety attack towards an extended family member, which is probably the most significant one because they didn't understand. Oh yeah, and then my last victim was a minivan.
Okay.
I assaulted a minivan. There you go. That's a good warm-up for how things went. Now you're getting an idea. I think there were 3 big blow-ups that I had that were like caused problems for other people. And then the other ones were more mini where they were just kind of contained. As soon as I had like an anxiety attack, I try to write it down because I'm trying very hard to take responsibility and hold myself as accountable as I can. So we were at the chapel on the wedding day, 30 minutes before the wedding was going to start. I was with my mom and my Aunt Denise, my mom's sister. And then we met up with my sisters at the chapel, and it was like me in the middle. And they were like really high energy, and they were like chattering and like shouting towards each other with me in the middle, like blah, 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 blah. They were like taking photos of each other and like shoving cameras. Like I was already on edge because I don't like being in those situations at all. And I freaked out. I don't remember what I say sometimes in the moment because I just kind of blurt something out real fast. So I said something like, "Can you please stop shoving cameras in my face? This is driving me crazy. It's ridiculous." I was like, and I just got really agitated and aggressive and mad. And this is what I always do. This is like a pattern throughout my history. When I get real agitated and mad, I'll leave. I will just aggressively leave. I'll go, "I'm leaving. Everyone get away from me." And then I stormed off. And then Denise, because Denise doesn't know, my sisters and my mom have seen me do this before. So they kind of knew what was going on. So like Denise doesn't know me, and she tried to grab me and apologize. And when people try to stop me when I'm storming off, it makes me really angry because I feel like I'm being threatened. Like I'm trying to escape a situation that makes me feel afraid, and they're trying to drag me back in, and then I get double scared. That's when I get really aggressive to try and make everyone get away from me. So then as I was walking away, because Denise tried to grab my arm, I accidentally flipped her off. And this was in the front seat, like in front of everybody in the chapel. So it was a proper scene. It was pretty par for the course for me. This was a good one. So I stormed off onto the pier because I just needed to be somewhere where no one was around me. I needed to get away. And then when I get really angry, I break things. So I walked down the pier, but the pier was blocked off and it said like no trespassing. So that I just took all the chains off and I went on the pier anyways. This is like how I express my disdain towards rules and standards and stuff like that. I just get angry at the fact that I'm expected to act a certain way and I can never fulfill that. I always fail at it, and then I resent the expectation in society that I'm supposed to be polite, I'm supposed to be nice. I was still angry, so I just sat on the ground and I leaned up against a trash can, waiting just till I felt better, I guess, but I don't always know what I'm waiting for, I guess just to stop being angry.
Sure, sometimes you gotta just ride the emotion.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wait because I don't feel like I can handle it. And then when I'm in high stress, like high tension scenarios like a wedding, destination wedding, yeah, that's when I lose control and I'll behave inappropriately. And then that was it. It was nothing more complicated than that. I just made a small scene and I was disrespectful to my aunt in front of everybody. And I made the girls and my mom feel bad, you know. I ruined their mood. This is classic me. I'm really good at ruining people's time. Of course, what always ends up happening is I cause a scene. It causes like a chain reaction in the social circle. All of a sudden, like 20 people know that I stormed off. And 3 people showed up to try and get me. Paula, that made me feel really bad because Paula, who was organizing the whole event, had to stop everything 15 minutes before the wedding to find me. She had to come find me, and then my other aunt, Aunt Franny, who's my mom's other sister, she came and she tried to talk some sense into me, and she did a pretty good job. A staff member came over with a security guard and was like, we need you to get off the pier. It's not, you're not supposed to be on the pier. And I'm like, then the wedding happened in the chapel and everything went fine. I didn't ruin anything, fortunately. And then we all went to the reception after. And at the reception, I apologized to Denise generally because she didn't understand the anxiety attack at all. She thought I was just being like crazy. But anyway, she forgave me well enough, but that's fine. She told my mom without me around that she said she was okay. So that's fine. We're okay. But let me see.
Are you glad that you went?
I asked that question to myself, right? Was this worth it? Like, is this the right decision? Did coming here and putting myself in these situations where I couldn't control myself, was that wise? And then it dawned on me what was going on. I'm putting myself through a very difficult situation and it's going to get messy. There's no way around it. I'm simply not equipped with what I need to make it a clean process. But I'm still on the right path. I'm not making a mistake. This is the part that really tricks people. They get confused. They'll make the mistake of thinking that they're doing something wrong when things get hard. So that's kind of how I felt about the whole thing.
Okay, let's review the categories that were discussed in the story, and then we're going to add some more things that haven't been discussed yet at all. The first category that was discussed is acknowledge specific contributing actions. Within the story, I identified 5 instances of me acknowledging my specific contributing actions. I had an anxiety attack at the chapel before the wedding. I was hostile and agitated towards others due to the anxiety attack, specifically my Aunt Denise, Mom, and my 2 sisters. I abandoned the event by storming off, which also caused a scene that embarrassed everybody I was hostile towards. I swore at my Aunt Denise with my hand. This was extremely out of character for me, actually. I never flip people off. I think insulting someone like that is childish, and that made my Aunt Denise feel hurt, embarrassed, and confused. I felt pretty stupid for doing that. I trespassed on private property. Yeah, that was largely an accident. All I wanted was a spot where I could escape from everyone. I didn't realize I was making myself a liability until after. One more instance that I didn't discuss in the story is I insulted my mom when she attempted to help me on the pier. At one point, my mom came out and attempted to calm me down. I was still really angry, and I said a bunch of cruel things to make her go away. That's how I make people go away. It was excessive, and I felt bad about it. She doesn't deserve that. The second category that was discussed is identify and address the harm or impact on others. Within the story, I identified 6 instances of me identifying and addressing the harm or impact on others. I offended and embarrassed my Aunt Denise. I upset my mom. Apparently, my mom's mood shifted so drastically from my anxiety attack that Paula noticed it just by looking at her. That's how everyone discovered what happened and eventually came to get me. I ruined my sister's fun. They were in a really good mood and super happy to see everybody. That was mean and I felt bad about that. I interfered with Paula's wedding plans. That was extremely unfair. Paula was already under an absurd amount of stress. Felt real bad about that. That was stupid. Inconvenienced my Aunt Franny. She got stuck in the back of the chapel during her granddaughter's wedding because of me. That was really unfair. And she had to leave and come out and try and help me. Yeah, it was not cool. Became a potential liability. This is very unlikely that I would have caused a significant problem, but it was still very foolish of me to gamble like that. It only takes one crazy employee to interpret my actions as a justification to treat Paula badly. So yeah, no good. The third category is commit to altering behavior to prevent reoccurrence. This category has not been discussed yet. I thought of 4 ways I can commit to altering my behavior to prevent reoccurrence. Analyze the situation with my therapist. The audio clip shows that I discussed the problem with my therapist and conducted an analysis. That's pretty obvious. Create accountability video. Creating this accountability video and sharing it with the family, it shows a commitment to altering behavior and preventing reoccurrence on its own. And I also learned a ton from making the project. Practice coping skills to manage similar anxiety attacks. I regularly use a range of anxiety-focused coping mechanisms. Working with my therapist to further develop those skills is an ongoing process. So yeah, I'm always using coping skills for things like this. Open dialogue amongst those who are impacted. Creating this video and sharing it with all those impacted is an attempt to open a dialogue. I'm not much of a talker, but that's the point. The dialogue is not supposed to just be between me and everyone else, but between all of us. Hopefully this will foster openness and understanding. The last category is commit to self-reflection and introspection. Within the story, I identified 1 instance of me committing to self-reflection and introspection. Journaling. I did a decent job journaling during the wedding trip. It's very difficult journaling when you're very stressed and in the moment. But I continued journaling after I got home too. I journal all the time. It's the most powerful tool I have for self-reflection and introspection. 3 more instances that I did not discuss yet are analyze the situation with therapist. The audio clip clearly shows that I discussed the situation with my therapist. Our analysis went well beyond what was discussed in the clip. Create accountability video. Creating this accountability video was extremely beneficial to self-reflection and introspection. It allowed me to think and feel in ways that I otherwise would not have. Direct self-reflection and introspection. This one is obvious, but it's still essential. I've made a conscious effort to simplify my life so I can concentrate on things like self-reflection and introspection. If I'm having trouble understanding a concept, I bring it to my therapist and we'll figure it out together. Okay, that was my best attempt at holding myself accountable. There are a lot of other ways that people will do this kind of project, but I think that this one came out well. I hope this clarifies any misunderstandings that I caused during the wedding trip, and additionally, I hope that this gives you a glimpse into some of the advanced psychology work that I've been doing over the past few years. I hope to continue doing projects like this and slowly looping the family into my work. But until then, thank you very much for watching. And I will talk to all of you later. Bye.